wouldn't hear about a lot of the bullshit that's out there.
Nice.
But Mia finally said, listen, you got to go on the show and just set some of these ridiculous rumors and all these people who said they're close to me, sources, just set them straight, because there's been a lot of bullshit out there. And again, 90% of it I wouldn't hear about if it wasn't for Mia or Tim. So shout out to both of them, because I'm sure they're watching. But yeah, it's been an interesting break for me. But yeah, I've been hanging out with Apollo, and enjoying my time.
Okay, so I'm assuming that Tim and Mia shout out, and thank you for watching if they are watching, and thank you for joining us to clarify some things. I assume what they're alluding to is all the different reports about what your football future kind of is going to look like. Over the last 2 months, we'll say, since free agency kind of started, it's been a lot of buzz. You're holding teams hostage with not giving them an answer. You're waiting out for another place, or you might end up back staying at home in New Jersey for the Giants. Is there anything you kind of want to set straight here off the top as we dive into a lot of these conversations that have been happening about you that maybe you haven't been participating in at all over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I'll set it all straight. I have no problem. Listen, from the jump, it's I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm 41 years old. I'm in a serious relationship. I have off the field stuff going on that requires my attention. I have personal commitments I made, not knowing what my future was going to look like after last year, that are important to me. And I have a couple of people in my inner circle who are really battling some difficult stuff. So I have a lot of things that are taking my attention, and have beginning in really January, away from football, and that's been where I've been focusing most of my attention on. To make a commitment to the team is a big thing, whether you're a first-year player or a 20-year vet. And I had a lot of great conversations with a lot of teams. Not one of those was the Jets, because that wasn't a great conversation.
So that wasn't an accurate report. Okay, got it. Okay.
That was not an accurate report. We can get into that in a second. But
okay.
But I had some good conversations. But I've been upfront with all of them. I don't have anybody working on my PR staff. Like Mia is the head of my PR. She tells me what the hell's going on if I need to know anything. I don't have any leaks. I have a very tight circle. Just to put shit out. That's just not how I operate. There's been a lot of people assuming they have information about me that's just not true. I've been straight up with these teams from the start about where I was at. Starting with the money thing. I told every single one of the teams I talked to, made about the money. I'll play for 10 M's. I don't care. I never once said I need a multi-year deal, $30, $40 million. It's absolute bullshit. I said I play for 10. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I thought you were a selfish prick. I thought that's what it was. I just saw a guy sign for $60 million, $55 million, or whatever. You said you paid for $10 million. Okay, so you saying you would play, that means you are thinking, is retirement still on the field? Like, where are you whenever it comes to like playing or not playing? Playing for $10 million, by the way, makes it very easy for a lot of teams to be able to accommodate you. What does that mean?
Well, that's what I told them in March. In the beginning, the very beginning, you could ask me any one of the teams I talked to. That was the conversation. But also the conversation about where I was at in my personal life, the stuff I'm dealing with off the field, in my inner circle. That has to take my attention right now. And so I wasn't, stringing anybody along. I wasn't holding anybody hostage. I was honest from the jump about where I was at mentally, and some of the constraints that I have in my life right now that have to warrant my attention. So yeah, I'm open to anything and attached to nothing. So yeah, retirement still could be a possibility. But right now, my focus is has been and has been and will continue to be in my personal life. And that's what I've told the coaches, that there's still conversations that are being had. So it's all been very honest lines of communication. I've really appreciated the time I talked to the various teams. But there's been a lot of narratives that have not been anywhere near accurate. Starting with the Jets, continuing with something I just read about, me pitching something to the Vikings. I know Ben, I only know this again because of Mia. Ben was on the show talking about me waiting around for the Vikings. That's not accurate either. You know, I know I'm sure, a lot of sentiment from both Packer fans, shit, even maybe Vikings fans about certain things, but no. I've known Kevin forever. I've known Kevin O'Connell since we used to work out fitness, I think it was called, in San Diego County, North County. I've known him for 17, 18 years, and we got a good friendship. So we talk outside of just, this off season. We keep in touch during the season. So we've had good communication. And dog up the shit.
The government just shut down your internet right there. We heard it. The NFL just shut down your internet there for a second. So let's talk
now
about.
we're back. We're back.
Okay, so Ben Roethlisberger hypothesized, which is what a lot of people have been doing, because a lot of people assumed that a decision would have already been made in whether you're going to play football, who you're going to play football with, especially with the draft looming and free agency coming and going. I think you saying that there's a lot going on in your personal life that needs your attention, and I think you've told me a little bit more about that. I think if everybody kind of understood what was going on, I'm not saying you need to tell anybody's story, but it's like
they don't need to. They don't need to. They don't need to. I don't need my personal life's my personal life, and I don't need to dive into there's a sensitivity around some of the stuff that's going on for sure, and it's very important to me. But I mean, there's a lot of silly narratives out there. I'm sure people are assuming I've been sitting in a hole in the ground contemplating, or maybe down doing ayahuasca somewhere. I actually haven't done any of that. Nothing's on the horizon. I haven't been doing any of that.
I don't know about you laughing. It sounds like actually, remember, we only did those things whenever we were trying to find clarity. We're trying to figure things out. So that's a good thing, I think.
Don't need the meds.
But if you were doing it, we would let you know. We probably would say, good for you. Yeah, we'd be happy for you, regardless there. But yeah.
I think my next time I do that, I'm gonna have to take AJ down there because he needs some serious help.
Mother ayahuasca. He actually has a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah, you mentioned the Jets earlier. We can get back to the ayahuasca situation later, but you mentioned the Jets. What was that meeting like? We heard, isn't that where they said, hey, you can't come on Pat McAfee?
No, but that was Ebon's later.
Oh, of course. But I'm saying, how was that meeting? You mentioned, we'll get back to this. Sounds like you want to talk about it. What was it?
Well, maybe that was hypothesized as something that was going to be part of a conversation. Is the internet good? Are we good here?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sure they're trying to shut this part down, but, listen, that was an interesting 2 years to say the least. But, I figured that when I flew across country on my own dime, that there was going to be a conversation. And the confusing thing to me, and the strange thing, was, when I went out there, I meet with the coach, and we start talking. Oh, boy. See, they don't want this out there right now.
You're back.
So where did I leave you there?
You meet with the coach.
We start talking. He runs out of the room. I'm like, that's kind of strange. I was like, then he comes back with the GM. And I'm like, all right. So we sit down in the office. And I think we're going to have this long conversation. I've flown across the country. And 20 seconds in, he goes, literally, I'm talking to the GM about something, and he leans to the edge of the sheet and goes, should you want to play football? I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And he said, we're going a different direction at quarterback. And I said, and I was kind of shocked. Now, I'm not shocked because I didn't think that was a possibility. Listen, of course, they want to move on, that's totally fine. But shocked because I just flew across country. You could have told me this on the phone. If we weren't even going to have a conversation, and this is verbatim exactly how it happened. So I said, huh? And he goes, we just want to know how you want it released. the messaging. And I said, verbatim, I don't give a shit about the message. And I said, why? And he said, I don't want to be up in front of the room saying something and have guys looking back at you.
Interesting.
And I said, what does that even mean? Are you assuming that I would be in the back of the room during a team meeting undermining what you're saying? I said, you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me. And then I said, exactly, which is why I flew across the country to have a face-to-face meeting with you to talk about my experience with the Jets and to hear your vision for the team. 20 seconds in. What I thought was going to be a couple-hour meeting turned into like a 15-minute meeting, and I walked out of there. But
so at that
yeah,
moment,
that was a strange meeting. For
so
sure. There was no me pleading like, please have me on the team. No, I don't know. Well, I don't want any part of that. It was already a debacle in some cases. Listen, that whole situation was crazy, and I think even that was a little rogue by the head coach because I talked to the GM later about it. Christopher Johnson called me. Chris is a fantastic guy. Anybody that's ever met Christopher Johnson says the same thing. He's a phenomenal dude. He's about the right stuff. He's a sweet human being, and I'm thankful that I got to meet him and Doris because their friendship was a big bright spot in the organization. And there's a lot of great dudes there. There's great players there, great humans. There's great, guys in the equipment room, training room. Carmen and Maddie in the nutrition department, all the strength staff. There's a lot of great dudes there. But there's obviously some things that need to get fixed over there.
Yeah, it didn't go well, obviously. There was high hopes and dreams by Jets fans, Jets organization, and you, which I think gets forgotten about. You had great visions of going over to New York and with the Jets and leading them to victory for the first time in a long time. That ends up not happening. Then the exit, obviously, one about it, didn't expect it. So when you leave that meeting,
and that's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't surprised that they wanted to move on, but like, why would you not pick my brain? I'm there to talk to you about the team and about things that I think can get better, and things that are good, and players that have leadership possibilities, and anything. I mean, I've been in the league 20 years. Any type of conversation, there was none. There was none.
Okay, so
that was strange.
Okay, so you leave the building, probably in I would assume a little bit of a mood. You get on a plane. Universe, God, that maybe my football life is over. Like, does that expedite the conversation of what your future looks like in football? Does it slow it down? How does that kind of affect what would then happen after that meeting takes place and you become a free agent for the first time basically in your career?
Well, first of all, I told my pilots, hey, have a good night, have some beers. This is going to be a long meeting. Sure, we might even have dinner. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a good, I'm excited about this meeting. So walking out there, 25 minutes, it was like 40 minutes because I saw Vito and Gus in the training room. I saw Dave Zuffalato, awesome trainer there. Got to talk to him. So I was there maybe about 40 minutes at one Jets drive. Then I drove home, had some conversations with some people there, including Christopher. But the next day, when I left, I was just thinking, hey, that's the closing of that chapter. There's so many beautiful things about the 2 years that I had there. Obviously, most of them off the field, but no, I wasn't upset about it. I was surprised. I felt like there wasn't an ample amount of respect in that meeting. But I guess I shouldn't have been surprised based on some of the things I saw over the 2 years. But I am thankful for my time with the Jets. I'm disappointed it didn't work out better on the field, but it didn't damper anything. I just thought, okay, well now I have the chance to talk to other teams and see what's out there, and then also time to contemplate my own future.
Okay, so let's talk about the other teams that were potentially available. I rattled them off earlier, but we didn't really dive into them. You've been linked to a lot of teams, a lot of conversations. Now, I don't think anybody has said that you have told all of these teams, like, hey, right now there's a lot going on in my personal life, a lot going on. Very serious things with people that I care a lot about, so I am not in a position to make a decision. I assume because you didn't want to go to a team as quarterback and everything, and then have to miss some time, which is what ended up happening last year with the Jets when you went to 98% of the OTAs and then you missed a weekend and everybody made a big deal out of it. So I appreciate us learning that you were up front with all of these teams. But these teams became very pronounced, seemingly, unless there was a wild card team behind the scenes we don't know about. Giants. You and the Giants went down the road and chit-chatted a little bit. And did you contemplate playing for the New York Football Giants? And then Vikings, Steelers, I don't know how many other teams. The Saints kind of just got in there. You don't have to lay out all of them, but have you talked to all of those teams? And what was it like being a free agent for the first time while chatting with these squads?
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. I'd never had that experience before. I'm not going to get into specifics about every team that I talked to, but it was a few teams. There were a lot of teams I saw mentioned that I had absolutely zero contact with. I would say I did talk to Brian Daboll and had a great conversation with him. Really enjoyed him a lot. I think he's a lot of fun to talk to and has a beautiful football mind. Him and Josh, he had Josh in Buffalo. Josh is one of my closest friends in the league. And, I just enjoyed the conversations. He's a, really bright football mind. But, there were some other teams that I talked to, like I already mentioned, KOC is a buddy of mine. And we talk during the season. So it was a cool experience. Obviously, I went out to Pittsburgh and tried to do that as quietly as possible. A lot of people think that I'm desperate for attention, even though I haven't talked to you or anybody else in 3 months. But I did fly into a different airport, not the downtown. I'll tell you about what I did secretly. I flew into a different airport. I got a Malibu rental car, drove the Malibu rental car to the facility, to the backside practice field, got let in the practice field, and then somebody in the building must have said something. And when I came out, there was like some cameras that were pointed, but there ain't no way they thought, this dude is not going to be in a Malibu right now. He's not going to be in a Malibu rental car, is he? So I kind of drove by, and they had like a really long lens I was seeing, and Mania did a deep dive to see if anybody got a picture, and there was one person who had a picture, and it didn't go anywhere of me in the Malibu. But that was fun to kind of sneak in, sneak out. But yeah, I mean, listen, I've talked to Mike Tomlin. He's more than I even thought from afar, as far as the type of person that he is. I have a lot of respect for what he's accomplished in the league. You guys have had him on the show many times. I mean, talk about a guy that doesn't need to work. Doesn't need to work. But he's a grinder. We've had a friendship for a couple of years now, and I just like what he's all about. I like when he's on your show. And the quarterback coach is actually a guy named Tom Arth. Tom Arth was in the quarterback room with me in 2006 in Green Bay in the off season. The first off season I ever did, went to the Mike McCarthy quarterback school. It was me and Tom Arth and Tom Clements. And thankfully I had Tom Arth because those were crazy ass workouts that were really hard. And Tom, we gave each other some breathers here and there, but yeah, great dude. So it was nice to go into the city. I never really spent any time in Pittsburgh other than the few times we played there. But yeah, I enjoyed talking to Mike.
So what are you doing there? You're doing due diligence on the people and just trying to, do they invite you, obviously, to come maybe learn a little bit more about you? How does that kind of come about, you flying to probably the Beaver County Airport or Butler County Airport, hopping into Malibu, pulling in the...
I'm not going to tell you what airport we flew into because it was great in and out, man. It was like it wasn't even...
It's always like that.
It was...
Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh's easy. Pittsburgh's good. But how did that come about? You guys just kind of wanted to see each other, kind of meet each other? Because if you were up front with them, was saying, hey, right now, off-season, a lot going on. A lot that is kind of taking my attention. And I assume they understand, especially if they learned what it was. It was just like, we should at least do some due diligence for each other. Is that kind of how that comes about with you traveling to Pittsburgh?
It's different when you're talking on the phone. Luckily, with my lack of service here, it's a lot of FaceTimes. But but it's different in person. I just, personally, I wanted to see what it was like there, um, see the facility, get to meet Omar in person, um, see just get a glimpse, a snippet of what life would be like in Pittsburgh. So I thought it was important to go see it in person, and I also want to do it as quietly as possible. So there were very few people that even knew I was heading out that way. Besides Mike and Omar and Arthur, like even Tom Hart didn't find out till that morning. And I've known Tom forever. I got to reconnect with him last year on the field. I hadn't seen him like in person in probably like 19 years. This guy was in my quarterback room. I guess it was 18 years if it was 2006, but he didn't even know till the morning. So it was nice to be able to get in early and get out.
We found a picture of you in the Malibu.
Hey, there it is, right there. That was me.
You look like you got a hoodie, sunglasses, hat on, man. That is awesome. You're an attention whore, though. Remember, you're an attention.
Yeah, that was the exact picture that I saw. So I saw these people. I said, "Damn, they're gonna get a good pic here." At least I got my SR hat on. Shout out to Mike, but yeah, that pic never went anywhere. So now, obviously,
now, well, yeah, there it is.
Everybody knew I was there at that point, but yeah, that's me driving to Malibu. Right?
I want to let you know the people of Pittsburgh will respect the fact you're driving around in a boo, brother. I'm going to let you know that. Now, let's stay in Pittsburgh. AP Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, not me necessarily, Aaron, but there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans who want to know if you are still in contact with the team, and if they gave you a deadline, because there's a lot of people in Pittsburgh talking about deadline. They need to have you before the draft. They need to have you before minicamp, whatever, OTAs. Are you still in contact with them? Did they give you a deadline, or did they say, hey, take your time, deal with what you have to do personally, and then just let us know?
Listen, this entire time, I haven't felt like I owed anybody some sort of decision at any point. This is my life. Like I said, things are different now. My life is different. My personal life is different. I have stuff in the inner circle that, I'm intimately close to that's really important to me. And I've been upfront with him about that and said, listen, if you need to move on, if you need to do something, by all means, like nothing but love and respect if that's a decision that needs to be made. But there's been no deadline, and yeah, I've talked to Mike T many times.
Okay, so you're still in contact with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Feels like the trip went well. You're dealing with stuff in your life right now. Steelers seemingly understand that. Didn't want to out you, because I assume there's a lot of times where Steelers, because they're getting questioned a lot by the Steelers fans. Hey, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? They have tried to completely, I don't want to say dumb it down, but basically not say anything. So it feels like there is a trust between you two, which is great. And we saw some photos from UCLA, Nico Iamaleava's school. AJ has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, we saw you throw it to DK Metcalf. First off, did you hire the videographer, photographer for that? What was this all about? You were pumped about this completion. You had a nice little dig across the middle, it looks like. But how did this come about, and who is this? Where is this footage from? Who took it?
It was the other guy. I think his name is Alex. Was there? I don't know if he's a full-time guy for DK, but yeah, he was taking some video and some pictures. And I said, it was fine if DK released it. But I don't think DK did. I think actually the kid did. So I'm not sure if everybody was super excited. Maybe they were. I don't care either way. But yeah, again, I wanted to do due diligence with this whole process. And part of it is talking to a guy like DK. And let me just say this, what a great dude. What a great dude. He loves football. And, what a specimen this guy is. I was laughing at him because, I said, where do you work out? I've been working out for a long time. Even rocking the Broccoli gear and that shirt. He goes, oh, you said that. I said, what time do you work out? He said, 6 a.m. I said, you got anybody else working out? He said, yeah, they last a few weeks at most. Still work out that early. And then we were throwing, I said, hey, can it not be 6 a.m.? I got to drive, PCH is closed. So we threw it, we met at 8 in the morning, which is much nicer at 6. But yeah, I've had a few conversations with DK. Yeah, I just think he's a super guy. Part of the process is just, with this whole thing is seeing how my body is, how I respond, how I feel. 41 years old. It's like, again, care of myself. But, I want to see NFL to throw DK and have the juices spill, now it all came out. It's all those little things. And also just get to know DK. And like I said, that's a really good human being. Like from the first conversation I had with him, he was saying like, yes sir, no sir, and I said, oh man, this gets a whole lot. That's just how we talk. He's just a really respectful dude. And an absolute specimen. He's accomplished a lot in the league, and I've enjoyed getting to know him a little bit. Enjoyed talking to him. I mean, we're talented guy.
Okay, so let me raise a point here. Love DJ, love Tomlin. Yeah, George Pickens, fire boost, absolute beast. The city of Pittsburgh is, I mean, what did you try? He sucks. Everybody goes for A sandwiches, Dallas Sal's pizza, I mean, there's so much to love about the city that I assume you didn't get to experience either one day in your Malibu, easy in, easy out. But it sounds like what you're saying, and we talked like Dayball. Obviously, the Vikings, you and KOC have a relationship. That was they got JJ McCarthy over there. But there's been a lot of chatter about you going to the Steelers, and nothing that you have said here has made me believe that you're ruling out going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is that an accurate assessment? And if you were to play again, does it feel like you would probably be for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, yeah, I'm going back to it, but I am trying to be open to everything and not specifically attached to anything when it comes to this decision. I'm not holding anybody hostage. I really want to emphasize that. Nothing about what I'm saying. I've been upfront from the beginning. I don't need any disrespect to any player on that team, veteran or young guy that comes in. I'm just going through a lot of my personal life that has to take precedent at this point. Because that's a big commitment, and when the commitment is made, it has to be an all-in type commitment. And I know people say, oh, well, you missed minicamp last year. It's like, we can go down that story at some point for a different time, but not now. I've talked about it. I don't think it was fair to the Steelers or anyone, to make a decision while I'm dealing with a lot on the field. So at the same time, I want to keep the lines of communication open. That's why I talk with all the important people and the people that need to know what's going on. And the people that don't make up shit about me. And that really hasn't changed since COVID.
Well, I think even before COVID, which is why Aaron Rodgers Tuesday even started, that I think COVID probably expedited.
Well, COVID may have put it on some steroids for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't, not that I need one. I haven't got an apology. I haven't got an apology yet about anything COVID related. I don't need that. I'm just like maybe some of the same crew one time, or maybe especially after everything's been released. But you're wrong.
Maybe that hippie out there, maybe that football doofus who had a 500-page report, that kind of gets lost in the entire thing. I had a little bit of misinformation ahead of time, and maybe that type of mentality and stick-to-itiveness is the reason why he's the coach whenever it comes to football. Now, you said you're trying to keep the lines of communication open. I would assume that there's reality about what is next week. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, great to see you. Always a pleasure. Next week, the draft, and I'm not saying, what prospects do you love, because I assume, like you said, you've been dealing with a lot of stuff, you're not really locked in on that specifically, but have you kind of thought about the idea of certain teams making certain moves? Does that change anything? You said you're attached to nothing, but if there was one team that maybe went a certain direction, with that change of thought on maybe possibly playing for them, opening the door to go to that team? And then also, you brought up last year's minicamp. We now all know over the last 3 months you went to Egypt to explore the tunnels beneath the pyramids.
I wish I had. I mean, I've read a lot of stuff about before the LiDAR that they're using to expose it. I remember those cartoons. So.
Okay. Mayor, this is the conversation. Okay. Miami, whatever. You had a shuffle and whatever there. You were taking down as one of the set, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, but I haven't seen one draft prospect film or nothing. I mean, I watched some college football for sure. I did see the running back from Boise State. He was at UCLA today.
Finesse, quickness, and ability to make guys miss in the middle of that field.
He is put together. He's
Shot.
put together well. Yeah, he is well put together. And I think, I don't know, maybe Bijan Robinson. Who's the last running back to all the top 10?
Bijan, yeah.
Was it Bijan? Yeah. I think that's probably going to be, they're probably going to top 10. And, I mean, just the eye test, he passes the eye test for sure.
It's got a long draft Aaron Rodgers while doing this, but does the draft affect anything that you are going through?
Oh, no. No.
You just kind of go watch it, see what it is, and we'll catch up and see what happened on the other side.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to say I won't watch it because I know you guys know. If I watch anything at all, I'll be watching you guys. I'll say that. And you're going back to old soccer grounds.
Right. Harold is on in Green Bay. He's coming back to Green Bay. It would be great to see him out there.
What type of reception he's going to get? Because he was in a play for a couple other teams. You know, to get his peers.
All the time you can tell with the Green Bay Packers, they got to go bananas for A.J. Hawkins.
We're waiting on you to come back, Aaron, just like we were at the big night out.
Yeah, what's that all about? I thought you were making your decision.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Yeah, sorry I couldn't make it. I really wanted to be there.
I know you're a guy that loves all the attention and the spotlight and everything like that. He told me, he's like, can you imagine if I go in? I'd be the biggest asshole of all time. The amount of time that you put into this and all the people that you have, and then I show up and it's just like,
Hey, that was a private conversation.
okay, I'm just telling you, I'm still not sure. I'm telling you, Aaron was like, the fact that I was, he like almost apologetic that it was even like a part of the company. You need to know if you would have been there, definitely chuck your ass right out that middle. You're in a football and goes right hand and left hand. You know, I want to see both out there. We would have loved having you, but I do respect and appreciate you being like, that you didn't like that was a big part of the narrative, which I respect that of you. And I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand who you are as a human, as a whole. And I can't wait to see what you do next, legitimately. How often are you thinking about it? Like, whenever we saw that picture of you on the beach, like, there's 1,000 things going on in your life, so you can't contemplate anything. But how often is football on the mind? I assume it has to be a lot. Shit, I assume it has. And are you listening to, oh, Mom, Over 2 Nicks wondered if you actually had waves crashing sound in your headphones because the ocean wasn't making good enough wave crashing sounds. So you just kind of amplified it in there. How much were you contemplating football? Is it every day, every hour? What is the, if you had to put like kind of a...
I mean, it's a small percentage. Because the conversations have been had. You know, there's no more contemplation. I'm taking care of my people right now, and I'm taking care of my personal life responsibilities, and I'm keeping the conversation open as well. What I listen to on the beach, I listen to mostly Alan Watts speeches.
Oh, really? He's a good one. That guy's an orator.
That was the Watts, our second guest.
That guy's, yeah, we did.
That was the second guy.
Oh, G.J. Watt's speech.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, JJ's
Oh,
dad.
Watts.
Yeah, it's all the Watts. Okay, yeah, we're tying it together. Is DJ going to be sort of beach side? Last question for me. Your helmet being banned. Is this something that's crossed your mind on, you know what? The helmet goes, I go. Uh-oh.
Again, I didn't hear about that until, I don't know if it was me or Tim, but one of them let me know that was out there. Listen, I know it's been on the edge. I mean, I've worn multiple helmets that have all been on the edge. And at some point, I think this is at least the second, if not the third helmet I've worn that is like got cycled out because it doesn't pass the concussion test good enough. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I don't know the inner workings of Shut. But if I were to play, I'm gonna wear a shut if we're still going. We're still gotta, still gotta do pass some sort of test. That's what I wear. I'm a shut guy. I've been for 20 years. I've tried other helmets another time in college, but that was my favorite helmet. So it's too bad that they banned it because I haven't had a concussion in a number of years. But they make damn good helmets.
I'll tell you what, if Shut can pass the protocol, I'm gonna wear it. Now, it's on the edge. I wouldn't say on the edge. Every time it needs a score of at least 6.4 or higher. These things 6.41.
I mean, it's been on the bottom of the yellow for sure at least the last 3 or 4 years. It goes green, and it's all the vices and different ones, or the best Riddell ones. And it would be like the Shut X speed, whatever, so down at the bottom that I wear. Like just 2 notches above, that no one else in the league is wearing.
They put that up on the jumbo, like on the screen at training camp.
Look at that late.
Do an entire presentation about the new models, the new studies, the new research, the new everything as part of the equipment room. And they do have like a scale. Here's the safest in our eyes helmet. And then they do say like this one's a big band, these ones are close. That's hilarious. They can describe it as on the edge because everybody's like looking. Oh, nice new model. And then Aaron at the time, like, still good. All right. I don't know how they're rolling that one.
I swear to God, it's one of the first things I look at. It was always like a player in a helmet and it had like green, yellow, and red. And I'd always look for that little shut on. That was still good.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you are still open to this. I'm happy to hear that it seems like your football conversations in life are going in a positive fashion. I'm happy to hear that you're driving in Malibu, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on a Friday out of nowhere. I'm sorry to hear about you going through a lot of things in your personal life with your inner circle, and we all are excited to hear about what you're going to do with your future whenever you figure out the time is right to make that decision. We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Yeah, listen, I don't have sources. I don't have people that are out there pushing narratives. I speak for myself. And it's been nice to be quiet for the last few months. It's funny in that time period how the shit narrative goes fucking crazy. Right? I haven't said a fucking word. So, there's nothing to say. I just laid out where I'm at. There's nothing else to report. There's no other reason to be continuing to talk about me at this point. So I'm going to turn the page. All those people that have made a lot of money slandering my name. Apologize for COVID. Say you're vax status.
Okay.
And fucking keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Tell Apollo we said hello. Can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at right now. He must be laying down on the ground here somewhere.
Missing on something. He's missing on something.
He's chewing something up.
Huskies are very not active.
Yeah. It's about 4 nights. 2 different eyes, right? Huskies. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Nah, they're both blue. They're both blue.
Australian Shepherds. Yeah, the different eyes.
You ever seen a half wolf, half husky? You ever seen that one?
Yeah.
Those are big dogs.
Direwolves are bad.
Connor, you think I'm not going to space anytime soon or not?
I don't know. It depends if we got any green screens around here later on.
Okay. And we appreciate you, brother. Hope you stay all day. Hope you make whatever decision makes you the happiest.
I might go in the ocean later, but other than that, I'll be good right here.
It's just dolphins. Yeah. Just dolphins.
I don't see any right now. There's a guy down there fishing up.
Good luck out there, pal. Well,
hey, thanks. You guys be safe out there. And if you're doing a great day, man, and you want to do the chives.
See your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good chives. Stay there. It's like this. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so the Steelers fan, what did you do? Something what I heard.
Go ahead.
What I heard was sounds like
He's playing.
that sounds like that is right.
Due diligence.
Not only his due diligence, and he wouldn't say they're obviously very personal, very serious things. I mean, I think he's big part of helping is, like, I think it's a big part of it. So I think he probably did want to make a decision to do it all, knowing that he was going to be absent, not only physically, but like mentally as well. He's very serious things he wants in, and I don't want to. I almost feel like it. I'm not going to say. There's very, very, very serious, not for him, but people very close to him. And he feels, I think, compelled or
Yeah, he's helping. He's helping people.
people that have been around him a long time have had a lot of things happen to them. Very serious. So he feels. So I think he doesn't want to. I think he was very upfront with people. I don't want to do this, and then because I don't think he liked how big that story got last year about the OTAs.
No,
Because I was here every.
he's gonna be there for.
I think that's what he wants to be in. Because I think he wants it to very much work. If he's going to continue to play, which he said he's still open to retirement, which potentially is something, he doesn't want to go like with the Jake. Like, he's going to want it to have success. So I think it sounded like he is a fan of the Steelers, is what it sounded like. And it sounds like he's not in a time to make a decision or in a time to commit to a football team right now, either quarterback at the age of 41 with everything going on around. But it sounds like let's see what takes place, and then it sounds like he likes Mike Tomlin, what's going on, and he see that.
Yeah, obviously he loves Coach T. He said Coach T exceeded his expectations. He loves Artie Smith. As we've said many, many times, Artie Smith didn't need to be sleeping on the couch. He could be an exec in FedEx if he really wanted to. Got to meet Omar. I know everyone in the facility, from what I heard, loved Aaron, and everything went great inside of there. I mean, him renting to Malibu and cruising through the streets of Pittsburgh is awesome. Doing his due diligence with DK and everything like that, and he spoke so glowingly of DK, which he does.
It's a Vikings. Like me and JOC know each other very well. Didn't really dive into that match. Gave a couple opportunities to dive into the Vikings. So it sounds like in his eyes, maybe not as big of a story as maybe we or anybody else is making it.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you think about it, he was already when JOC got drafted to the Vikings. So you assume they probably had a relationship a long, long time ago before JOC was even a coach.
He feels like a lot's going on in his personal life, but he feels like he's a piece still.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The Spartans are in the red zone.
Can you hear me now?
He'll ride the back again here. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Well, they don't block the defense.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Some quickness, Kirk, getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, this guy's usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete package. Not only can he pressure the quarterback, but also he is very, very talented and shows you the physicality he has against the run as well.
You know, I know you've been working at that gas station for about 20 years, and thanks for $3,000.
Offense thinking
It's
touchdown,
crazy,
not field goal, facing a 3rd and long from the 20-yard
They get
line.
there one of these days. You know, and it's not just free much space. You know,
Now it brings up 4th down.
Hey, the good news is here, Chris, they're still in field goal range, and they didn't cost themselves any points. But they could have more. They've got to be thinking about going for this on
Really?
So on 4th down now, out comes the field goal unit. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And the kick is good. Offense settles for a 38 drive.
Snap, the hold, the kick, everything there perfect to put 3 points up here for the offense.
So after the field goal, the kicker out there again to boot it away. Return begins inside the 10. Stop at the 22. That's pretty solid coverage there. Offense back on the field now. If they want to cut into this lead before halftime, they have to work quickly now.
Like it? Look at it. Hey, listen. you hear that engine? Yo, Javier. Yo, Javier, you hear that engine? You like it, Javier?
Wish you had a professional business address and phone number instead of your home address
All
and
right.
personal number? Are you looking to register your business using an address other than your home? Wouldn't it be great if you could read and manage your business mail from anywhere? iPostal One can help. With an iPostal One virtual business address, it's easy to stay connected, protect your privacy, and enhance your business image. You'll be able to receive mail and packages from any carrier and register your business using your new business address. View and manage your mail the day we receive it. Using
You were running. I'll take you around the block, get out of here. You know what I mean? You go run that.
Here comes a jet sweep. A change of direction. And he's in the clear now. It's a foot race. And a big game before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning.
You know what I mean? You go run.
The defense has got to do a much better job here of adjusting to the pre-snap motion. They just kind of stayed in place, and it gave the receiver plenty of room there to make a nice play.
First down play call. How aggressive will it be? And a timeout is called to talk strategy. Close game here as we approach halftime. First down and 10.
Close to the speed.
Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. And is intercepted. Look out, he's got some space. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Sparty. And the defense joins the party with a pick six. And the interception taken to the house. A pick six. Potential game-changing play there.
Man, nothing gets a defense, and especially a defensive coordinator, more fired up than a pick six. Let's not forget, give credit to some of those other defenders for making some key blocks to spring that touchdown loose.
The kickoff, a little too hot to handle, goes through the end zone for a touchback. Middle Tennessee offense back on the field now. Not a whole lot of time remaining before halftime to cut into this lead. So the first play of the drive here coming up, less than 2 minutes left on the clock. They bring him down to the 32-yard line.
Chris, it's the consistency of these packages giving this defense fits. They've got to come up with some changes up front. This guy's already over 50 yards, and if he keeps running the way he is, not only is he having a great day, but it's going to give this quarterback a chance to hit some big plays downfield off play action.
They stop him, but it's a first down.
Sometimes I almost get mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, the eyes that carry their feet to the open space, making people miss. I just love watching those guys do that.
On the run, it starts. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play. The offense spends their final timeout of the half here to talk strategy.
Wait, that's actually a good thing that just happened. Wait a minute.
So the offense takes the field in the final seconds
to keep all my throws.
Chance for just a couple more plays.
Wait, that's
Offense switches it up here, looking to throw the ball now.
Oh, what?
And that one's incomplete with just 7 seconds
So
left
you're
on the
supposed to
clock.
play it right. Mustang, Oval for one for the police. You know what I mean?
They'll look to throw it here on second down.
Smokey, Jack, hear me out.
He's brought down.
He has the top speed of the van versus the top speed of the Mustang.
Miller's going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it down to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Oh, you're kidding me.
A spirited environment there in East Lansing. And it'd be easy to say these two offenses are glad we've hit halftime based on their respective performances. It would also be accurate.
And this episode,
Turnovers and
find
sacks
that
have
ball
told the
force,
story
man.
so far. And you
You see what Biggs has done? I think we're almost out of product. They've been, you know what I mean?
those game plans and just get
Let's
back
see.
to basics. For
Rushing
now,
out
let's get back to the guys in the booth to start up this second half.
Oh, Jagged bitch. Oh, Mustang. Chad, is that not a waste of money, though? Y'all got it, and Chad, that Mustang got it. Got it.
And the Spartans will kick this deep
Just
to begin the second half.
Yo, what's good, Brandon? What you got on?
And the kickoff goes out the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Anyway, Chad, you wondered yesterday, until we own the taco tickers now, which means that Kyle is technically already free. Tell me the money longer back here, you think you got $8 million. You think that it's you know,
Michigan State always a tough defense.
He has affected my confidence. The offense is easy. I know that I'm worthy too.
Better for both of us.
Easy.
Urgency now for the offense. They hate to come up empty on this drive.
Bruh. What is happening right there? I gotta do something here. Oh no.
I'm such a wholesome citizen. I mean, really.
I'm gonna lose this
Just
game.
a good citizen. I'm a person that you can trust no matter what. Bro, just ran a red light.
Bro.
That doesn't make me a bad citizen. Everybody accidentally runs a red light.
That definitely makes you a bad citizen. Stupid idiot.
Chad, you ever accidentally ran a red light? Be honest.
The team speed from the defense here wins that
Well, half of these people ain't even got a license. What are you talking about?
It's Davis.
Oh, dude.
There was a lot of contact, no penalty.
Bro, you gotta catch that, really, right there.
A long way to go for needing this crucial conversion right now. Looks over the middle, and that's complete.
What the fuck is my player doing?
They bring him down.
Oh my god. Oh my god, man.
Taking care of this quarterback. They do it again here on third down, working with that lead. You know the pressure's coming.
Junior steps up and makes an impact play.
I like the call here, but you can't run long, developing play-action passes like that if the offensive line is not going to give the quarterback time to throw.
The play fake, he'll look to
Oh, he's so far back. What in the fuck is that? Man, that's bad.
Goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense second down and goal.
No way. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, you get into this second half, you start to count possessions and how big your lead is. Now that you're up 2 possessions,
You got $5. You got $5.
Guess what? It was only over 12-7. He got scammed. Let's go. Who else? Peter wants one. Peter, let's go ahead and do 2 of them. Let's do 2 of them for $7.25. Hey, Chad W. Peter. Who else wants some? Elizabeth.
The Blue Raiders offense back on.
2 of them for $7.25.
Looking to produce a positive drive here.
Live.
Didn't quite get the playoff in time. It'll be
No,
delayed
Chad,
game.
sometimes in life, you gotta slang that note to make it.
Delayed game
Now,
penalty that cost the offense 5.
We got, you know, we just doing what we gotta do, Chad. Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. I didn't check Jane. Get out of here. I gotta check Jane. I don't even know if Jane got product from.
No wonder.
Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. They're going to run it. And it's good for a first down to the 36.
Well, it's a nice job up front by the offensive line, but give the running back an assist for setting those blocks up before he's able to get downfield for the first down.
Lofting it toward the left sideline.
Well, you gotta catch that ball.
He's back to throw again after that incompletion on first down. Looks downfield and finds a receiver who worked his way wide open. They finally get him, but it's across midfield. Big gain of the 33. And the Blue Raiders have first and 10 here.
That's kind of crazy.
And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. Defense stops him, but that's a solid gain.
I know this defense worked very hard at halftime to come up with answers on how to try to slow down
People
this
are
running
still
back after
ordering
the
all
big first
brands out of product.
Bro, my offensive line is not giving me no fucking time.
That's another sack by this defense. They have been in
Whoa.
the entire game, and a big
I
reason
need to save, man. What the fuck?
The offense will now quickly spend a timeout.
Kid.
The offense desperately has a conversion here, trailing in the third quarter. Dropping back, we're going to throw for the first down. Looks to the left, and it's complete. The completion picks up about 8 yards. And sets up a fourth down play. The Blue Raiders will come to the line here, looking to keep the drive going.
Is she back?
Going for it on fourth down. Finds his man, has the first down. Brought down, but it's past.
You're one of my favorites.
I love her.
I'm figuring out how to finally start enjoying this journey,
Poker face, poker face.
Look me in the eye and tell me that you didn't kill her. That little demon sabotaged Elijah's magic trick. I just want someone to like me. Oh, shoot.
And the Blue Raiders are in the red zone. Looks like he didn't get this.
Yeah, I love this.
Here's a miss.
Cost him 5 yards.
I want to know everything there is to know about you. Oh, sure. You know, nice, but flattered nonetheless.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
It's gonna be silly and crazy, and
Carter, he's a beauty.
I'll definitely be watching out.
Looking for a gap. It starts. And a decent gain there.
That's it, man.
Like show business, huh?
How do you get so many people?
Your gift is uncanny. I've never seen anything like it.
No one's fooled me yet.
Be the first.
Sorry, but I think I might be foolproof.
Second down play coming up for this offense.
I like that.
Here's the snap. Looking to throw here.
Hey,
Incomplete. He was hit.
I'm in trouble in this game. I cannot get any protection long enough for them to give me a chance to. Oh, yeah.
Fires it to the wideout.
Yes.
Middle Tennessee State. That's a crucial score. Let's see if they can build momentum and complete this comeback.
Stop fucking lying to me.
Great first step in trying to break down this lead. You don't want to leave it all to the fourth quarter when the pressure really intensifies and you have limited time.
And they're trying to punch it in here.
No fucking way, man. I wanted to go right, and I hit the fucking right. Just picking the mic. You gotta have some defensive stops here. Turn it up. It's loud as a motherfucker. Act like you.
Off the play fake, looking to throw on first down. Bringing pressure.
Finally.
The blitz works. They've got him. After the first down loss, it's 2nd and long from the 17. Keep it on the ground. There's the handoff.
Oh.
It's a very solid game, but still well short of the mark.
5 motherfucking wide receivers.
So ball at the 30. This is a manageable third down play for the offense.
Yes.
Looking to pass. It's Davis. From the pocket, delivers over the middle. He's tackled just short of that first down mark. Good job by the defense. And the Spartans will send the punt team onto the field. Looking to kick it away for the second time. Bringing it the same. He's brought in to make something of that return.
Did he get him for real?
Middle Tennessee offense back on the field. Possession last time. They punched it into the end zone. Can the defense come up with a stop this time? Here comes the first down pass attempt. Running back has it on the screen now. Defense makes the tackle, but that screen produces a pretty solid game.
Okay, we've got to mix more product. Slow channel. We'll mix more product. Oh, yeah, mix more product.
Michigan State with the lead here. Sitting in pretty good position as we wrap up the third quarter. Let's check out the game set so far.
What's it called?
1 quarter to go. Let's see
Marco.
if this sets up as a
Marco,
classic finish.
Marco. Oh. Yo.
Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter.
What am I doing?
Play action fake, looking to throw. Looking for his big tight end. He pulls in for a big gain. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a first down.
Yeah, I mean, what are you talking about?
Chris, here we are in the fourth quarter. These guys are trailing. It's been a great day, but with this quarterback, he's as gifted as anybody in the country. You never count these guys out.
Where the fuck is my hat off fullback? I mean, god darn it, man.
It's second down. And the quarterback dropping back. Wrapped down the middle. It's Woods. Defense makes the stop very close to a first down.
I'll tell you this right now. The barn is not doing their job. It's not. Yo, early in the team,
can he make it to the marker?
Wow.
That's a great play all around by this defense. Your first level defenders hold their own at the point of attack, allowing the second and third level players to roam free and make the tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
Bobo, you got kisses. Yep.
What is
Well, Chris, here's
that?
what we always talk about. On fourth down, the receiver's got to run a route beyond the sticks. Great awareness to know exactly where he is. Quarterback makes the throw. Receiver gets hit, but he's beyond the sticks for the first down.
Nice. Good timing, Chuck.
That's a crucial score for makes it a one-possession game that makes the stretch run of this
How many?
Yeah, now the pressure turns to their opponent and their
3.
offense. Momentum is starting to tilt.
Lay your heads in the fucking way.
I'd expect this defense to be extra aggressive.
No fucking way I missed that.
He's missed the PAT.
Oh my god.
Getting set to kick the ball off now.
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Inside the 5.
Wait, they will see stuff right now. Let me check.
Make something happen. That's
Oh,
good
no.
coverage there.
Chat, we got to do a
Now we need to make a play right here. This is where the rubber hits the road.
Can they put something together in this run?
Right,
Out of the
apologize.
shotgun, will hand it off.
I like the run play here, and offensively at this point in the game, we're going to remain in that attack mode
Oh,
first,
it's what
but
we
also
need right
staying
here.
in bounds and working that clock.
Right outside the grid.
Second down after that run on the previous play.
Okay, you want me to do that here? Okay.
Motion by the back. Defense better adjust.
Oh, interception gone. Well, you should get that disappearing smoke, yo.
Rejax
Bro,
USA.
that would be funny.
Good
One that makes them
filing is
disappear.
always free with no games or
Or
pricing
makes them like a
gimmicks.
staticky.
Because choose
Like, disappear, I guess.
Does he get the teleportation as well? Let me find out.
Oh, they could add that.
Oh, no, they're all the way down the road. Oh, he's got to search.
Oh, actually, teleportation one would be kind of fun. Hey, jacket. I fucked up. Man, god damn it, Adam. What are you doing paying attention? I'm gonna love a telephone. Yeah, we need a blitz now. This time, we really need to shut them down. We're running out of time. We shouldn't be pulling out the gun. And does he even know about curfew? Oh.
Yeah, I gotta get supplies for a bar.
Man, what a time to call that
Shoot him, I thought about it. I ain't trying to get in no trouble right now.
We have a chance.
By the time he got the ball in his hands, the linebacker's right in his face.
Trying to get in no trouble.
The Spartans will line up to punt it away.
All three over here. There's only two of them, Chad. GT, we're good.
Running it back. It's Hussein.
Okay, two. Thank you.
And the returner is
Next, no longer get tomorrow. Come on here. Yes. Hurry.
Here comes the Middle Tennessee offense back out there.
Hurry.
The guys up.
Oh, yeah.
It's first down. Forget the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff.
Yes. Everybody calm down. It's like one call.
Mm-hmm.
All week, the defensive coordinator told us about the quarterback, he told us about the receivers, and how they're going to throw the
I'm about to
football.
buy that Mustang.
Man,
Like, I'll take
they
it
better
from
get
5
locked in on stopping this run game because that was a big-time game.
There's Jets.
He needs
There
a
she
tackle.
is. She
Quarterback
won't
gets
find
downfield
Hill
to make this
for
throw. He wants to be able
12.
to get the ball
For
to be able
12
to pick up
yards.
those yards for a first down.
Of course she
Instead,
is.
he gets the ball at least underneath to the drag route.
Chat Jesse is full on again. Well, it's bad. Chad is bad.
It's a wide
I'll give
receiver
it
coming
bro.
in motion now.
I'm just jumping the fans.
We're going to
Chad,
pass here
stop
on
out
the
there.
second
I'll
down.
speak.
There's contact on the corner.
Ooh.
It's incomplete. That was caused by the defensive pressure.
Star Wars.
Man, he
We're down 100%.
there, didn't he, Chris? And
Jay Walton.
superstar. He is their leader. But based on that last play,
And all
some of
Chad.
their line's got to do a better job of recognizing that they got to take care of it.
Offense facing third and short, approaching midfield. Can they convert here, or
Oh,
will
Jesse.
they face a tough fourth down decision?
Jesse.
There's the handoff. Brought down at the
You
46.
think this
Good
is
enough for a
secretly
first
Jesse's
down.
yellow
That's going to be a
Mustang, right?
first down, and really, Chris, kind of surprised here in the fourth quarter not to see this defense dial up some pressure. They're just sitting back in the base, making it relatively easy for the
Wait,
offense to
there's
pick up the first down on the ground.
$250 bonus y'all didn't tell me about.
Are you serious right now?
Handoff as they try to work the clock.
Chad, y'all never talked about that
But
until
they'll
just
take
now.
the gain on that play.
Well, I feel like they
It's
called that
20%
knowing
bonus.
chances are they're not going to hit a home run. But look at this.
You told me that.
Themselves in a perfect third down situations, much more manageable. Now we'll see if they
Right.
can convert.
No idea.
Moves the football to the 30.
She
Good
know.
enough for a first down.
Good call here by the offense to be able to pick up this first down. And
All right.
Chris, it makes you wonder, with under 3 minutes to go in this game and trailing, the defense sitting back in their base, I thought they might be in a little bit more of an aggressive mindset, turning the blitz loose.
Oh, yeah,
trying
so
to create
the,
some plays to get the
all right.
ball is not free.
Who's got it? Able to get the ball back, but it can still be a drive kick. This drive has already chewed more than 3 minutes off the clock.
Okay.
On second down now.
Purchase.
Got it.
This is why I need Chad. Why are you showing the fertilizer?
They bring him down. It's a very solid game, but still well short of the first down. But the clock stops as we head into
Wait, no, I need fertilizer. Yes, I do a lot. Okay, let's go drop this stuff off to the barn real quick.
Sticking with the running game. The defense stops him short of the marker, so it's fourth down coming up. Now it's the defense. Calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. Leading here in the fourth quarter to keep the offense on the field, trying to stretch the lead and keep possession. Crucial play here. They go to the air. Lets it go quickly. And it falls incomplete for a turnover on downs.
I mean, I hate to second guess here, but why in the world with this lead wouldn't you just punt the ball away and allow your defense to pass the football game? This now gives this offense great field position and a chance to really take advantage of it.
Here's the second down play. Linebacker shifting around now. Scanning the field. It's Davis. Receiver makes the grab. To get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion. The clock is still running off the hurry up here, but it's a crucial third down. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. Quarterback delivers complete to the right side. The stop made at the 45, but enough for a first down. The clock is still running. They got to get set quickly. It's first and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. Pass caught. Defense reacts quickly. A very short game on the play. They'll have to hurry now. Second down with the clock ticking.
I'm about to fire him.
Looks for an open man.
Chad's about to be on. Wait.
And the offense will wisely spend a timeout after the play. Clock management's going to be very important here.
One break right here. Let's just do it.
Going to pick up the third and short through the air. Makes a quick catch.
No fertilizer.
The offense spikes the ball here, looking to preserve as much clock as they can. Getting set. Here's second down.
Say it with me, Chad. The drying rags do what?
Here's the snap, looking to throw. On the run here, lets it go. That one falls in.
Makes it faster.
For a flag. Doesn't get it. Brings up third down. Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down.
I sure.
Third down. Throws a fastball, but it's intercepted. Big takeaway. Now looking for a big return. Inside the 10. Takes the pick to the end zone. Touchdown, Middle Tennessee State.
Where is Salvador, Chad? Hello?
Monster play by this defense here, Kurt.
Big time play right here.
Speed up.
The screen, he read it. Player of the game. Little Daryl Reeves. Oh, look, activated. What this is shit. Yes. Definitely gets to the center.
And he takes this from inside the 5.
Casino? No.
Be tackled at the 17.
Well, here's the thing, Chad. Once we buy the car wash, what else am I going to spend money on? If not the casino.
Offense needs
True.
quickly here, trying to dial up some explosive plays. Let's see what they've got.
That is true.
Looking to throw it.
What is there to...
Looking for his big tight end. He's got an open man downfield.
Arm? I mean, okay.
My life.
They need to score quickly here, trying to
Not
dial
really.
up some big
He's gonna
plays.
bounce off this right here.
No, not 330.
It's Davis.
Thank you so much.
Breaking down. Cannot escape that ferocious
Hello?
pass
How do I
rush. It's a sack.
Hello? Thank you. Somebody said 208. No.
What a comeback.
This kind of a game. Very small.
Ready to be with the
18-7.
Shirley 2 right now? Or no, what's his name?
Yeah, Chris, when games get
That's
tight,
25 to 7.
it really comes down to who's the better coach team, who's going to execute better,
That fucking interception for touchdowns.
get to your head.
Everything. Manix had one too, man. They got some fucking sick ass fucking players, though.
It's what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. Musky. Muskie. Davis, improviser, freshman.
Thank you so much.
King.
What's up?
Shelby Williams. Still pick. What is a stupid pick? 3 touchdowns, 175. 70. Whoa. That's crazy, yeah. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. Rico. Suave. Oh my God. I'm not sure.
What's happening? Let me go. Let me go. No, let me go. No, let me go. No. I couldn't fight. I tried. I tried to fight. I couldn't fight. I tried to.
One more time.
That's a sick joke.
You ain't know what you're doing, dude.
That's a filthy joke. Oh, man.
Well, it was a good road victory. Hey, keep on chugging. Locked out a few people, huh? It's like, oh. Oh, damn. What's in Michigan? 85s. But they lost? Well, they're better than Michigan. Yeah. 10K, bitch. All right, oops. So we win against a top 12 team and we don't move in the rank. Okay.
Hey, for 10K, I'm happy. Chad, try to point if you're happy with that. I just hit for 10K.
If you want the most golf coverage, you need Fubo. Watch every major tournament and player.
Mm-hmm. Say less.
We literally just hit for 10K, bro. I told y'all, Chad, every time I go in there, there's always a chance we're going to do something crazy, bro.
Defense really good. Wow.
For 10K, I don't know if all that's profit, but we did hit for $10,000. How much of that's profit, I'm not sure, but we did.
Nothing.
I'm going to drop this stuff off here. Did I break even? I did break even. I had all these seats here already. That is actually insane. Chat, no way, right? Okay, let me put these over here. Hold on. Okay, let me put these right here. Let me get one break of this real quick when we go to the warehouse and
All right. GG's.
so that was like $6,000